Hi, my name is Danielle Madras, and this is my week 2 presentation on the iodine clock reaction. To begin this experiment, we need a few supplies. This experiment requires vitamin C, 5% iodine, distilled water, cornstarch, hydrogen peroxide at 3%, coffee filters, funnels, and some glass bowls and cups. To start this experiment, we need to create solution A. So to begin, I took 2,000 milligrams of vitamin C tablets. You preferably want the tablets and not the chewables, as the chewables have a lot of extra junk in them. I ended up crushing these 2 tablets with a meat mallet to get a fine powder slash dust. I took that powder and dust and combined it with 60 mLs of distilled water and stirred it for roughly 30 seconds here. The particles do not completely dissolve. There is a lot that is not water dissolvable, but you do want to mix it as much as you can to get the vitamin C to dissolve in the water. So after I stirred it for 30 seconds, I placed a couple coffee filters inside a funnel, as you can see on the picture on the right, and went ahead and filtered out all those excess particles and debris. Once that was completely filtered out, I went ahead and added the 25 mLs of 5% iodine to the vitamin C mixture. I did not have or find any vitamin or any iodine that was at 5%. I did, however, find iodine that was 10%, so I ended up taking, instead of 25 mLs, I placed 12.5 mLs of that 10% iodine into my solution. The iodine and vitamin C was kind of a fun experiment just on its own. So when I took the dark iodine, again that 12.5 mLs of the 10%, and combined it with the vitamin C, it actually reacts and takes that I2 and converts it to I negative, which caused the solution to turn clear almost immediately as I was adding the iodine to it. As I swirled and mixed that iodine and vitamin C combination together, the final step for creating this solution was to add roughly 440 mLs of the distilled water to make a total volume of solution A about 500 mLs. The second step to this experiment is creating solution B. So for this experiment, we need 0.4 grams of cornstarch mixed with 350 mLs of distilled water. My gram scale did not go down to that small of amount of grams per weight, so I could get down to 1 gram of weight, and I ended up just dividing that amount in half, so I probably used 0.5-ish grams of cornstarch for this experiment. Once I mixed that amount in with my 350 mLs of distilled water, I stirred it for again about 30 seconds and still had a very cloudy mixture, as you can see in the top picture. So as per instructions, I went ahead and microwaved that cornstarch and water solution. For me, it was about 2 minutes and it came to about 45 degrees Celsius. That made it a little bit more clear, but it was still relatively cloudy. So I ended up taking 4 coffee filters and a funnel, and then went ahead and funneled out the remaining particles from that cornstarch. And you can see on the bottom picture there, I have a much more clear liquid coming through that funnel. Once that was completely filtered out, I went ahead and added 150 mLs of the 3% hydrogen peroxide, which gave solution B a total volume of 500 mLs. The final step for this experiment is taking solution A, so the vitamin C and iodine solution, and solution B, the cornstarch and hydrogen peroxide solution, and mixing equal parts of them into a separate bowl. So you can see I have both solutions here on the left, and then my bowl that I found that actually had measurements, so I could measure how much of each solution I was putting in to make sure I had equal parts on the right. So, for the conclusion of this experiment, once the 2 solutions are combined in the bowl, 2 chemical reactions are actually taking place. The hydrogen peroxide wants to oxidize the I negative back to the colored form of I2, and the absorbic acid wants to reduce that from the I2 back to the I negative. So they're kind of fighting back and forth the whole entire time. Eventually, the vitamin C is consumed by the excessive amount of hydrogen peroxide, and then the I2 is accumulated in the solution. The I2 complex with the I1 form a triiodine complex, and that complex combines with the starch. So what you're left with at the end of this experiment is a blue triiodine and starch complex. As you can see from my final picture here, this experiment did not work very well for me. I did not get a color change, and I waited about 15 minutes here for the color change to happen from this experiment. At that 15-minute mark, I used what I had of the remaining two solutions and actually heated up both solutions in the microwave again to get about to a boiling temperature, and then tried to combine them that way. That was also unsuccessful for me. I went back to the drawing board, checked all my measurements, made sure I had the correct supplies, and all of that was correct. The one thing that I did find was my hydrogen peroxide actually expired in 2017. So my best guess here, or my theory of why this experiment did not work, is that my hydrogen peroxide was probably somewhat inactive. Therefore, it was not able to actually consume all of that vitamin C. And when that happened, it was not able to convert that I1 back to the I2 like it was supposed to get that nice blue color.